This is Lan Wilf, the old biologist. Happy New Year to everybody. I'm glad y'all have decided to check the channel out. Picked up a lot of subs in the last few days. I got a young protege named Pierce Young that did a little advertising for me on the Facebook interweb there. Man, I picked up like 55 subs in a day. I appreciate it, young feller. You all right? He said a lot of things that were real nice about me, and I don't know that this warranted. He might have given me a little too much credit. But I'll take any positivity anybody wants to throw my way. I'm sure that I'm paying enough people's whiskey. I had some quality interaction with one old boy. Had to shut him down. He shouldn't come back, and he can't comment if he does. So he's done. But anyway, most of you, all of you, for the most part, have been great. I will ask as a housekeeping rule. Please keep your comments respectful. No name calling. Let's keep the obscenity to a minimum. I understand some cussing. Sometimes a man's just got to cuss. But try to keep it to a minimal amount. But I've got some really good viewers. I've had a lot of good comments. Agree or disagree. Most have been excellent. Most have had a lot of logic behind them. And I appreciate that. Agree or disagree. That's how we move things forward. This one I wanted to discuss something that's often overlooked. It's a good reason to collect biological data and jawbones on your deer and weigh them all. Collect lactation data on your doe. All the antler dimensions on your bucks, even the little ones. What is the most important piece of biological harvest data from your property? Some of you that have had formal training will know. Most will not. Is it B&C score on your bucks? Tells you where you are. Tells you what your best bucks are shaping up to be that you get. May even tell you what was going on 4 or 5 years ago. But B&C score on your trophies is not the most important piece. Is the age on your best bucks the most important? It's vital. It does tell you if your harvest strategy is working or not. But I don't think it's the most important piece. Buck body weights by age class. I would say that buck body weights by age class, depending on the timing of harvest, depending on where he is in the rut, is just a gee whiz piece of data. It's worth a little bit, but not a lot. It does tell you to a degree what was going on 4 or 5 years ago, but that buck that weighed 210 in Mississippi, let's just say November the 10th. That son gun may weigh 185, 175. If you shoot him first week of January. What about doe age structure? The percentage of does in each age class. Real important, but it's not the most important. Mature doe body weights, It's important. Tells you how stressed your adult does are. 2-year-old doe body weight's the same way. Lactation, 2-year-old plus, you're getting closer to home with that. Lactation is terribly important to know how many you need to be taking in the future, whether you need to back off or keep laying the hammer down. It's not the most important. In my opinion, the most important piece of biological data from any property with an adequate sample size is 1-year-old doe body weights. The old biologists, not me, but the guys, my predecessors, used 1-year-old buck body weights to gauge it. Very few people shoot yearling bucks anymore to amount to anything. And those that do now are shooting the very poorest performing yearling bucks. So it's not a representative sample of everything. Yearling or 1-year-old doe body weights tell you the conditions of the herd that year. If yearling doe body weights are trending upward each year, your management is working. If they're trending downward, you might need to do something different. Or one of the main reasons why yearling doe body weights are so important is because I need you to think about liking people. Let's just say high school football players. Got a pretty good idea about what that young feller's going to be at 15 or 16 years old. Whether he's going to be a smaller fella or a bigger old boy, athletic or not, got a pretty good idea. I need you to keep in mind too that when do people do most of their development, or most mammals for that matter do most of their development? When do they grow the most? When do they stack on the most body mass? Early in life. Most of your development happens in the first 20 years. Same goes for most mammals, most animals in general. Does tend to be mature at 2 years old. Bucks mature at 5. But most does done what they're going to do developmental wise at 2 years old. So I need y'all to remember that most of the development happens early. And those yearling doe body weights are a snapshot of how well they developed at first year of life. And that's why the trend data from year to year on yearling doe body weights is so vital. That tells you what direction you're going and what shape the herd was in for that 1 year. And that is the most important piece that I look at in any data set if I have enough to analyze. I would say 7 1-year-old does would be the bare minimum that I would consider an adequate sample size. Obviously, 15, 20, 30 would be better. It takes a larger property to get that many. But a objective and strategic analysis of yearling doe body weights, and to a degree yearling doe lactation. Because if you have a 20%, 30% yearling doe lactation, that means that that doe fawn reached critical mass in her first winter and she got bred. So that means that you have fawns hitting the ground early enough to be able to get bred their first winter. And if you start getting up there around 25% or higher yearling doe lactation, that is outstanding. Outstanding. Yearling doe body weights, for the most part, for most of Mississippi should be running around 85 to 95 pounds. I shot a yearling doe yesterday afternoon. She weighed 90. And I've got good habitat, but I've only got good habitat on about 30 acres. But she was in great condition, and she was not lactating. She was in good shape. And a sample size of 1 is inadequate, but she fell right in there in the sweet spot. So I wanted y'all to take that bone and chew on it and think about whether you need to be pulling jaws, keeping biological data on your deer, even if your state does not offer a deer management assistance program. You can collect data on your deer, and you can begin to build a spreadsheet in Excel and analyze the data on your own. You can train yourself to do some of this, because the more you know about your property, the better. If you need help putting together a data sheet, spreadsheet, my email's floating around on this channel. I may put it in the channel description for too long, but there's some resources out there. So with that, y'all keep hunting, keep shooting them. Because for the most part in the deep south, they need to be shot. And we need hunters out there getting after them, boys, because they're starting to eat the bricks off buildings in places. I appreciate everybody, and y'all have a good one. Pour a whiskey drink for old biologists.